All right, everybody, welcome back. We are going to take a deep dive today into the world of cloud security.
Sounds good.
Yeah, so specifically, we're going to be looking at CNAPP. I think a lot of people hear that and they're just like, another acronym.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that is becoming increasingly relevant,
Right.
especially if you're in a company that is, shifting to the cloud.
Pretty much everyone these days, right?
Pretty much everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So we have done a ton of research on this topic. We have a lot of articles, a lot of white papers, all the good stuff. Um, and I'm really interested to see what we can pull out of this, that can be useful and insightful for anyone listening.
Yeah.
But first, I think the first question that we need to answer is, what is a CNAPP? Like when I first heard about this, I was kind of thinking like, okay, is this like antivirus for the cloud? But I have a feeling it's a lot more complex than that.
Yeah, it's definitely more than just antivirus for the cloud. So CNOPP stands for Cloud Native Application Protection Platform, and it's really about securing applications that are built and run in the cloud.
Okay, so that makes sense in terms of what it stands for.
hmm
But why is this cloud native thing such a big deal for security? Like, what's the difference between that and what we were doing before?
Well, traditional security tools, they were designed for a world where everything was pretty much fixed and predictable, right? Like you had your servers in a physical location, you had applications that didn't change very often. But the cloud is all about speed and flexibility. Applications, they're developed and deployed much faster. The infrastructure itself can change on a dime. And traditional tools just weren't built for that kind of dynamic environment.
Right. It's like trying to guard a moving target.
Exactly.
So how does CNAPP approach this challenge then?
So CNAPP brings together a bunch of different security functions under one umbrella. You can think of it kind of like a team of specialists, each with their own area of expertise working together to protect your whole cloud environment.
Okay, I like that team analogy. So who would you say are the key players on this security dream team?
So first you've got CSPM, Cloud Security Posture Management. It's essentially a multi-cloud visibility tool. You can imagine it like a security guard constantly patrolling your cloud estate, looking for any weaknesses or vulnerabilities.
So CSPM, that's like our early warning system, making
Yeah.
sure everything is configured correctly and there are no gaps in our defenses.
Exactly. A good CSPM can be the difference between a minor hiccup and a major data breach. Like remember that recent incident where a company left a sensitive database exposed because of a simple misconfiguration?
Oh, yeah?
That's the kind of thing that CSPM is designed to prevent.
Okay, wow. That puts it in perspective. So we've got CSPM watching over our infrastructure, but what about the actual applications and the data that's running on it?
Right. So that's where CWPP comes in, Cloud Workload Protection Platform. Think of it as like a bodyguard providing active protection for your workloads, whether they're running on virtual machines, containers, or serverless functions.
Right.
So it goes beyond traditional endpoint security by focusing specifically on the unique challenges of the cloud.
Now that you mentioned containers, I'm realizing how much they've just become a standard part of cloud development these days. Do they need their own specialized security measures within CNAPP?
Absolutely. And that's where KSPM comes in, Kubernetes Security Posture Management. So Kubernetes is like the conductor of the container orchestra, right?
Right.
And KSPM makes sure that that whole system is secure and running smoothly. It's all about preventing those Kubernetes-specific misconfigurations that could bring the whole thing down.
Okay, so we've got CSPM for infrastructure, CWPP for workloads, KSPM for Kubernetes. Is there anything else?
Yeah, one crucial element we haven't mentioned yet is CIEM, Cloud Infrastructure Entitlement Management. This one focuses on controlling access to your cloud resources. With so many people and applications interacting with the cloud, it's critical to make sure that only the right ones have access to the right things. So you can think of CIEM as like the bouncer at the club, making sure everyone has the proper credentials.
Right, makes sense. So it sounds like each of these components is essential in its own way. But how does this all work together in practice? Does it feel seamless from the user's perspective?
Think of it this way. You wouldn't want a security system where the alarm, the cameras, the motion sensors, they all operate independently, right?
Right.
You want them to be connected and working together. That's what CNAPP does. It integrates all these different security functions into a unified system.
So it's less about the individual tools themselves and more about creating this holistic approach to security in the cloud.
Exactly. And that's why CNAPP is so important. It allows organizations to embrace the agility and the scalability of the cloud without compromising security.
That's a really compelling point.
Wow.
So as we're kind of wrapping up this deep dive, what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I want you to think about this. What if security was so seamlessly integrated into the cloud that you didn't even have to think about it? What if it just became part of the fabric of how we build and interact with technology? That's the promise of CNAPP. And it's something to keep in mind as we all navigate this increasingly cloud-centric world.
Wow, that's a really thought-provoking idea.
Yeah.
Security is just this invisible force protecting us without getting in the way. I love it. Well, that wraps up our deep dive on CNAPP for today. I don't know about you, but I feel like I have a much clearer understanding of this critical piece of down security puzzle, and hopefully you do too. So until next time, stay safe out there.
And keep learning.